It is 6 o'clock. Here's a look at what's happening right now. A serious crash on 690 sends 4 people to the hospital. New information from overnight.
Also, Syracuse police release a picture of a man robbing a Syracuse bank in a wig. See if you can help police identify him.
Plus, a delicious deal to start off your day, how you can get some creative donuts for just $1 today.
This is Today in Central New York.
Even though most of today should be quiet, we do have a very important weather alert for you. A new storm will be giving us some trouble tonight. Good morning. I'm Lisa Spitz.
And I'm Jeremy Miller. Right now, Weather Authority meteorologist Peter Hall has a look at these alerts and your bus stop forecast. Pete?
Got you covered. Winter storm warnings are in effect right now across all of central New York. Today is quiet. Tonight is when the storm system gives us snow. There are some advisories far north and west and far south and east where there will be less total snowfall. Here's what you need to know before you go. Today is A-OK. In fact, there could be a very pretty sunrise coming up in about 40 minutes. Otherwise, some sunset snow develops south and west of Syracuse, but even where it does, I think the late afternoon and early evening commute should be all right. It's overnight that we've got trouble. Most of it is snow for central New York. A little sleet will mix in, especially southeast of Syracuse. By tomorrow morning, sunrise and the morning commute, the accumulating snow is done. However, we still have trouble for the morning commute. Why? Because we're going to have the entire night's worth of snow. So your impacts on roads later tonight to very early tomorrow morning is going to be impacted. But since there's no more accumulating snow after sunrise Friday, I think improving road conditions will occur. Filtered sun leads to dimmer sun, leads to no sun late today and a high of 34. We're going to show you the progression of snow hour by hour. We're going to show you a snowfall forecast map next.
Here's what's new this morning. A woman in her 20s is in critical condition right now after a serious crash on 690 in Geddes. 3 others are also in the hospital following that crash. Deputies say emergency crews responded to 690 West by the exit to the New York State Fairgrounds just before 11 o'clock last night. Deputies say a woman crashed her Ford Fusion into the guardrail. Her car then spun to face the wrong direction. Authorities say that's when a second car crashed right into that Ford Fusion head-on. A third car was also involved. The woman in her 20s was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. 3 others were taken with minor injuries. The death toll is now up after those wildfires in California. Officials say the wildfires burning in both northern and southern California have now combined to kill 59 people. We now know that 3 people have died in the massive fire in southern California. Fire officials say that fire is now more than half contained. Yesterday in northern California, the bodies of 8 people were found among the charred rubble. That raises the death toll in that fire up to 56. In total, CAL FIRE says the 2 fires have burned almost 240,000 acres. Right now, hundreds of people are still missing, and officials now say there's been an outbreak of norovirus at one of the fire escape shelters in Northern California. Right now, the New Jersey Department of Health is taking action against a health center after several children died in a viral outbreak. An outbreak of the adenovirus at the center sickened 33 patients, and 10 of them have died. An investigation revealed serious infection control deficiencies. In addition to being barred from admitting new patients, the facility must also hire an infection control practitioner and bring on a physician with board certification in infectious disease who's also approved by the health department. New this morning, a scary diagnosis for former Syracuse University and NFL football star Tim Green. The Liverpool native has been diagnosed with ALS, a disease that attacks the nervous system and affects nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. Green says the early symptoms have been problematic for years. Right now, he's being treated at a Massachusetts hospital. He plans to launch an ALS fundraiser on Sunday during an interview with Steve Croft on 60 Minutes. Of course, we will continue to follow this story for you in the coming days. Authorities in Texas say a man convicted of murder could be one of the most prolific killers in U.S. history. Prosecutors say 78-year-old Samuel Little confessed to more than 90 murders. 30 of them have been confirmed. He is currently serving 3 life sentences for killing 3 California women back in the late 1980s. Investigators in multiple states right now are reviewing past cases to see if Little could be connected to them. One of the men accused in connection to the murder of a SOTUS couple is now here in New York State after being extradited from Texas. 34-year-old Bron Bowler was arrested last week. He's a police officer in Texas. He's now charged with conspiracy in the shooting deaths of 28-year-old Joshua Niles and 24-year-old Amber Washburn. They were killed last month outside of their home in SOTUS. Bowler is accused alongside these two right here. Sheriff's deputies say Timothy Dean, a former Texas police chief, pulled the trigger. Authorities say he had ties to the couple through his current wife, Charlene Childers, who is the mother of one of the victims' children. The former Cornell student accused of amassing a cache of weapons in his Ithaca apartment pleads guilty to federal weapons charges. Last March, police went into 21-year-old Maximilian Reynolds' apartment. Police found an unassembled AR-15 rifle, a gas mask, and a homemade silencer. They also found ammunition and materials used to make explosive devices. As part of the arsenal, police found medical trauma supplies and a bulletproof vest. All of those weapons have been turned over to authorities. Reynolds is expected to be sentenced in March.
Scary moments in Salina after reports of a suspicious object at a gas station. Deputies were first called to the Pilot truck stop on 7th North Street just before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Officials say a caller reported a tube was left by a gas pump. The area was shut down for several hours. Eventually, the suspicious object was determined to be just a piece of trash. Right now, police are searching for a man who robbed a Syracuse bank. It happened at the Chase branch on James Street yesterday afternoon. A man walked in, handed a teller a note saying if she didn't hand over cash, he would hurt people. The suspect showed a silver handgun and then took off with cash. Police say the suspect was in a multicolored wig, black pants, and a black sweatshirt. Anyone with a tip should call Syracuse police. Syracuse's new chief of police, Kenton Buckner, will take over the department next month.
His last day as chief in Little Rock, Arkansas is tomorrow. He's going to take over the Syracuse Police Department on Monday, December 3rd. The chief told us that he plans to tackle city violence by working together with the community. In the past, he did face criticism from members of the Little Rock Black Police Officers Association. They accused him of discriminatory treatment of minority officers and supervisors. Current Syracuse Police Chief Frank Fowler will be done by the end of this month. His last day is November 30th. 6:07 is the time right now. Here's a look at what's happening today. The famous Lights on the Lake drive-through is kicking off for the season, and tonight they will also be honoring our troops.
Last night was the dog walk, and neighbors brought out their furry friends to check out all of the displays. The most well-known part of Lights on the Lake, the drive-through, starts at 5 o'clock this evening. The 2-mile display will be open every night until January 6th. And tonight is Salute the Troops Night. Any active or retired member of the U.S. military can get in for free. Just make sure you bring your military ID with you. Still ahead, the heartwarming story about a diner in Camillus that's serving up a big dish of hope.
Plus, and this is big, a sneak peek at some of the floats for this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and where you can watch it.
Coldest temperatures of the year so far, followed up by the snowiest system of the season so far. I'm going to show you how the snow starts, when it ends, how much you get next. It's 6:11. It's cold. Many of us in the teens. Winter storm warning in effect for most of central New York tonight. Let's get to it hour by hour so you know what to expect and you can plan ahead. As we go to the Futurecast, in about a half an hour, it'll be interesting to see how thick the clouds are, because if they're thin enough, and I think they are, we could have a very pretty sunrise this morning. And if you see that sunrise and it's super pretty where you live, send pictures to us on Burst by going to either our website and clicking chime in or burst.com/CNY Central. Filtered sun leads to dimmer sun, leads to no sun today. We're dry just about the entire day. Some snow will start south and west at the very end of the day towards sunset and dinner time hours. But even where it does, still 5, 6, 7 o'clock, roads are okay. It's mid-evening through midnight through early pre-dawn tomorrow morning is when our worst weather happens. Widespread snow. You may have noticed a little pink for sleet. The snow, though, is ending pretty quickly between 6:30 in the morning and 8 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, which means all the accumulating snow is done roughly by sunrise tomorrow. Well, that still means your impacts will be late tonight, even through the early morning commute until all the plows are through. Here's how much snow is going to happen. I am forecasting much of central New York. If you're in the white, you're going to get at least 6 inches. It doesn't mean everybody's getting 10, but I think many of us will be in that range between 6 and 10 inches of snow within central New York. I have lower amounts north and west because you're a little further away from the storm, and slightly lower amounts south and east because of a bit of sleet. Tomorrow morning, after the snow pulls out early, most of the morning is dry. Then anything in the afternoon is inconsequential rain and wet snow showers. And all the other precipitation in the weekend and beyond is light and minor. Mobile app is there for you 24/7. News and weather on the go, breaking news, weather alerts, so you know on the go. Back inside.
Donut lovers are going to love this. Glazed and Confused is celebrating its 1-year anniversary with a sweet treat. The popular donut shop near Clinton Square opened its storefront 1 year ago, and to celebrate, all donuts will be just $1. The store is extending its hours today from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. One diner in Camillus is dishing out more than just bacon and eggs.
Yes, they're also serving up hope. Our Kelly Curtin is live at the Second Chance Diner with more. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning, Jeremy and Lisa. Yeah, we are here in Camillus at the Second Chance Diner. And joining us here is the owner, Eddie. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you stumbled upon this place actually a year ago to this day, which is crazy. We set this up just at a coincidence. But you've been open for 12 days. Tell us about the name behind Second Chance.
Well, Second Chance Diner, it came to me in a dream. You know, and I believe it was just my second chance at life. As you know, I'm a recovering addict, so I just wanted to show hope in the community for recovering addicts.
Yeah, and just what do you want people to experience here as they're in this diner? I mean, right now you guys are just about opening up, preparing everything. Kind of back there, we're showing you the kitchen area. But what's the message that you want to maybe send to people, maybe, and even to yourself?
That, you know, recovery is possible. You know, hope, and that you can change your life. I guess, you know, I wanted to maybe inspire people and, you know, show you can change your life.
Yeah, and what do you serve here? What can people get here? We're talking about coffee and breakfast. I'm smelling all of the bacon and everything. So tell us what people can get here.
We got Fruity Pebble pancakes.
Ooh.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch pancakes.
Oh my gosh, you're making me hungry.
Waffle Witch.
So you have all, you know,
different.
Traditional, but then different stuff too as well.
I try to make a menu that, you know, you couldn't get anywhere else around.
All right, so you can come on here to Camillus, the Second Chance Diner, Tuesday to Sunday. Have a cup of coffee, chat, share your stories here. Just a place to kind of hang out. For now, reporting live here in Camillus, I'm Kelly Curtin.
Kelly, thank you.
Here's a look at what's coming up this morning. Holiday cheer can be brought down by expensive holiday shopping. We have tips from experts on how to avoid that stress.
Good morning. Well, take a look at this painting by the artist formerly known as Ufa, one of the baby red pandas here. Artists are so temperamental. And we're going to tell you how this is a big fundraiser for the zoo and how you can get your hand on one of these paintings coming up. Look at that.
6:18 the time. We have a winter storm warning in effect. Impactful weather happens tonight. First, your grab and go forecast today. It's another cold start. This one's the coldest of the season so far. So you need the winter coat, hat, and gloves, a good idea. You'll need the sunglasses early, but as clouds thicken, you won't during the rest of the day. Numbers rise to 34 after starting in the teens. Some light snow starts at dinner time, but it's after that, mid-evening to midnight through late tonight, that the worst snow and accumulations happen. So it's a weather alert for tonight. Early tomorrow morning, the snow is tapering off, meaning the snow should actually end by around sunrise. Still, though, the morning commute is going to be impacted until all the plows can get everywhere because this is a widespread snowy system. The rest of the day Friday, since the precipitation should stop for a while for morning and midday, and anything that happens in the afternoon is either wet snow showers or scattered rain showers, look for improving road conditions as we go through time on Friday. We'll show you the hour-by-hour progression of the snow and any sleet and how much snow you're going to get next. Lisa and Jeremy.
Pete, thank you. The Rosamond Gifford Zoo is holding a very special art auction tomorrow.
Okay, so the artwork on display, it's not made by people, but instead animals. Our Brandon Roth is in Syracuse at the zoo with that story. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Lisa. Look at how cute the baby pandas are here. What, Ted, that's Ufa?
Lufa and Dufa.
I remember when they were born. They've gotten so big.
They are. They're growing fast.
This is their mutual piece of art here.
That's right. They both had a part in this. One had silver paint and one had turquoise.
They actually recognized their painting. It's so cute. They came running over to the window when they saw it. You know, artists are so temperamental.
That's right.
This is a big fundraiser for you guys.
It is. And just like the pandas came over to this, it's part of the training program so that the pandas love to partake with the keepers, and it's time to spend with them. But this is you're right, this is a great event every year. We have about 100 paintings. You can get them through an auction, a silent auction, a raffle, or there's some surprise ones that are wrapped, but you know what kind of animal did it, so it's a surprise when you open it. So there's all kinds of ways to get them. Well,
we're going to take a look here because Siri, who is the oldest elephant here.
She's our matriarch.
Yes, and she is so popular. She actually started this movement across the country. Tell us a little bit about that. We're going to take a look at her painting here.
Yeah, back in the late 70s, early 80s, Siri, we noticed, one of her keepers noticed that she liked to pick up sticks and pieces of stone and make drawings in the sand or on the concrete. So one day, as part of the training enrichment, keeping them stimulated, we brought in a canvas for her, and with a piece of charcoal, piece of charcoal, and she immediately took to that, started making her own art, and has over the years done all kinds of things.
And this is so fascinating. Hey, Dennis, right here, I just wanted to show the one elephant here actually sprays it out.
That's right.
Like a Jason Pollock.
Yep. Karina isn't crazy about the brush thing, so she puts her trunk in the paint.
I love it. Art Gone Wild. It's one of the biggest fundraisers, all for a great cause. So it's tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
6 to 8 p.m. tomorrow night.
And you can get tickets ahead of time online at Rosamond Gifford Zoo's website, and we'll get that link for you too. But check it out and get some art. Guys, look at this, the baby pandas.
Impressive.
Pretty impressive
cool
stuff.
That's awesome.
That's great. Thanks, Brandon.
Here's a look at what's coming up on Today in Central New York.
The former Manlius police officer with a rare form of cancer is finally getting the help he needs after an outpouring of support from the community. What's planned for Sergeant Ken Hatter today coming up.
It's 6:24. We have a winter storm warning for tonight. That's the weather alert. Before we even get that far, I think we've got a pretty sunrise that's going to happen within the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. So we'd love to see your pictures by clicking chime in on our website or going to burst.com/CNY Central. Let's get to some important information, though. After a pretty start, but a cold start this morning, filtered sun leads to dimming sun, which will eventually lead to no sun through this afternoon. I think everybody's dry through 3 p.m. But then as we get towards sunset, some snow is going to start developing south and west, southern tier, southern Finger Lakes, and then move into central New York towards dinner time. Even that time period should be okay on roads. It's during the middle of the evening, 8, 9 o'clock, throughout the rest of the overnight that the conditions are worst because it's snowing everywhere. A little sleet is possible. It's still snowing through mid-morning tomorrow, roughly around 6 a.m. But then after that, precipitation is going to dramatically drop off, which means all the important snow happens between this evening and sunrise tomorrow, which total snowfall, I think, ranges from 6 to 10 inches across the immediate central New York area. Now remember, if I've got you painted in white, which is most of our area, it doesn't mean everybody's getting 10. It means everybody should get 6. And within this white area, some spots get 6, some get 7, 8, 9, and 10. If you're further north and west and further south and east where you were in the blue areas, you have an opportunity of getting a little less for a couple of different reasons. Tomorrow, precipitation tapers off for a while, then some new rain or wet scattered snow showers will develop. Every precipitation symbol there from Friday onward is much more scattered, it's lighter, it's more insignificant. Back inside.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is just around the corner. The holiday tradition's now in its 92nd year. New spectacular floats will be featured this year, including a Fantasy Chocolate Factory by Kinder, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles float from Nickelodeon, and of course, Tom Turkey, the oldest float in the parade, has gotten a makeover. You can watch the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade right here on NBC3 at 9 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Before the holidays, many of us get caught up in the hassle of all of that holiday shopping.
And a new survey says that financial strain can kill that holiday vibe. In fact, last year, nearly 80% of holiday shoppers blew past their budget, and that overspending can impact financial goals beyond the new year. Experts say don't forget to include hidden costs in your budget like entertainment or travel, and curb gift spending by making a shopping plan to find the best deals. Never wait until the last second to shop, and if you end up with a financial hangover, make a goal to plan ahead for the next year that will allow you to spread holiday cheer instead of taking on holiday stress.
Still ahead on Today in Central New York, a three-car crash shuts down part of Interstate 690 overnight. What we know about the people who were hurt.
We have concerning news this morning about the opioid epidemic and your pets. Veterinarians say addicts are using their pets to get their hands on opioid medication. The Food and Drug Administration is warning vets to be on the lookout and putting out new rules to keep pets safe.
It's tragic because our goal is to relieve pain, relieve suffering, and to provide the best care for an animal possible.
There are 3 ways that the FDA hopes to prevent addicts from getting their hands on these drugs. That is coming up tonight on NBC3 News at 11. As the temperature starts to drop, it serves as a very important reminder to pet owners to keep your furry ones safe. The director of Humane CNY is reminding dog owners to keep an eye on their canine companions and how much time they spend outside. They also say it's important to allow dogs time to adjust to changing temperatures, so bringing them right back into a warm house may not be the best idea.
What we do recommend sometimes is that you give them a little medium resting spot. So, maybe a garage or the basement, and let them warm up there and then move them up into the house.
Experts also recommend if you have a smaller dog, make sure that they wear a jacket to keep warm in the snow. It is 4:51 on the dot right now. Here's a look at what's coming up on Today in Central New York. Rewards coming for Uber users when the new program is expected to roll out.
Outside right now, quiet, cold. After the coldest afternoon yesterday, we're at one of our coldest mornings of the day, of the season that is. We got a storm though, and you need to be prepared. You'll know before you go exactly what to expect and how much snow next. It's a cold start, and after some very cold temperatures through yesterday and this morning, you need to be prepared for the winter coat. If I wasn't out here for only 2 minutes, I'd have the winter hat on too and the gloves. Let me show you the grab and go forecast. Here's what's happening right now. Numbers are in the teens, so you need the whole winter gear. I think we get filtered sunshine. A pretty sunrise is possible within about 2 hours from now or just before then. You won't need the umbrella today, and any snow that starts would probably happen in Syracuse around sunset or just thereafter, a little earlier south and west. The important snow happens tonight. First, though, those numbers, they're pretty nippy. Most of us in the mid and upper teens to lower 20s, 15 in Atisco, 25, though, in Seneca Falls. Elsewhere, it's in the teens, Tully, Rome, even as cold as 12 in Harrisburg. It's -1 in Saranac Lake. Ouch. So, let's cut to the chase. Here's your meat and potatoes forecast. What you want, the main course. How much snow am I going to get, Pete? So again, important snow happens roughly starting at around sunset or just thereafter, and then the important snow is over with by sunrise roughly in the morning commute tomorrow. I think most of central New York, if you're in the white, you get at least 6 inches. Remember, it's a range. Some spots will get 6, some spots get 7, 8, 9, and 10. The reason why north and western sections I have it a little lower at 3 to 6 is you're a little further away from the main shield of precipitation, but it's all snow there. The further south and east you go, the better the chance for either a little sleet or more sleet, which is why I have you guys at a little lower amount further south and east. However, the immediate central New York area looks to be right in that sweet spot for the steadiest snowfall. Since it's happening mainly tonight, the worst road impacts are tonight and very early Friday, and the snow is going to end. So until the plows get out there and clean things up, it's going to be rough. That's why I've got it in the red and the orange. But since after Friday morning it tapers off for a while, and anything in the afternoon is just light and scattered and probably rain showers, conditions will improve on the roads. And any precipitation that happens Friday night and Saturday is north of Syracuse, and it's rain and wet snow showers. And looks like just some light snow showers and flurries on Sunday. And while temperatures again are going to struggle much of next week. At this point, I don't see big snowstorms or big systems. Certainly, we always watch it. Next week is a big travel week, and some people are even traveling tomorrow. Up next, we'll show you those winter storm warnings. We'll break down the system again for you and your bust-up weather. Back inside.
4:56, and many people will shop online this holiday season, but a new survey shows some people may be multitasking dangerously. 1/3 of Americans who have shopped on their phone admit that they have done it while driving. What? And the vast majority have done so during the holiday season. Browsing is the top shopping activity that is done while driving.
That is crazy, by the way.
Isn't that scary?
I know, totally not.
When the roads are bad anyway?
Fans of Uber will soon get rewarded for their rides. The ride-sharing company is launching a new Uber Rewards program offering perks to riders for using the service. It is launching in a handful of major cities before it rolls out to U.S. riders in the coming months. Among the notable rewards, discounts on future rides, better customer support, and priority pickup at the airport. 4:57 is the time. Here's a look at what's coming up next. More consequences for a medical center after a deadly norovirus outbreak, what health officials are now requiring.
Also, a bomb scare at a gas station, what investigators say the suspicious item turned out to be.